We live, we in here. Welcome to it. Hollywood, what's happening? Hollywood is he was our sports journalist who we'll be calling him after y'all get off. He's gonna come in and give us some sports. I know he's gonna probably talk about the Spain winning by a point over Argentina. That's been a crazy World Cup. Like I never paid attention to it until it got over here in the States and Canada, right?
And in Mexico, I believe.
Mexico,
so
right?
All over North America and cities all across the U.S. and all over the place. And so not only watching it worldwide, but then the tourism and all the people coming in from around the world. So exciting.
Yeah, but didn't get tourism. They thought it was going to get, unfortunately, for reasons that's when I discuss that.
Sure.
Anyway, the voices y'all hear right now is my man Collin and my girl Angie. They are from Nebraska For Us, correct?
Yes.
All right, now just off the top right there, just Nebraska For Us can mean anything. Collin, give us a description, our elevator pitch.
Absolutely.
Nebraska For Us.
Yeah, definitely. So we are an organization that focuses on federal economic policy and works on making it relevant and understandable to people in the community. Oftentimes when you hear about federal issues, your eyes kind of glaze over, you get bored. You lose interest very quickly, but these are issues that are really important to people. And so we work together. Angie and I have been together since day one back in 2023 and continue to this day of making sure that we are meeting people where they are, providing information and keeping track of what's happening in Congress because it is so daunting and it is hard to, even for us on a regular basis, to try and consume all that information and try to make it concise and understandable and applicable. But people are having a hard time right now. Things are expensive, costs keep going up, and it's getting more and more important for people to know kind of what's going on and see what we can do to help with making sure people are just keeping tabs on things while they're keeping their heads above water.
Okay. Shout out to Collin. He gave y'all the information with Nebraska For Us. So Angie, what's the connectivity between Nebraska For Us and the community? How does that bridge happen?
Yeah, so we're a nonprofit. And we started 3 years ago, and the biggest pushback we had was we have 6,400 nonprofits in this area. Why do we need another one? Yeah, why do we need another one? And here's what we're able to do. We are able to lift up what other people are doing within our communities and provide amplification of the amazing work that they are doing.
Right.
And so we give back to the people that are boots on the ground, meeting people where they're at. And
what does that mean? You said that too. Meeting people where they're at. What does that mean?
It means people are just trying to live their lives. They wake up, they're trying to get kids ready for school, they're trying to get them to camps, they're trying to take care of their families. They're wondering, what's for dinner that night? And I need to go put gas in the car, I need to get to work, and did somebody make the doctor's appointment? We realize that life is hard.
Right.
And life's coming at you fast. And there are systems within our federal government, state government, that provide barriers for people that keep them down.
Okay.
What we are trying to do is support and help lift up the people that really need it within our communities. And we are working, there's some amazing nonprofits within our community that are truly meeting people in their worst circumstances that they never thought they were going to be in. I talk to people a lot. You can be privileged and you can have friends, you can have family, you can have support systems, and you can have different things that you can fall back on if you have a challenge that's put in front of you. There's a lot within our community that don't have those people in their lives that can help them.
Right.
And so it's because of nonprofits, it's because of people that really care, it's because of our faith-based organizations that we have within our community that we're able to help lift them up. But we understand and we approach things with compassion, and we want to make sure that people feel seen.
Welcome to the Inside Nebraska For Us. Well, great answer over there. Did you practice that?
Not at all. Collin hates it because he's like, did you practice this? I'm like, no, man. I just free form. It's just off the hip.
All right. So Angie's here, Collin's here, Nebraska For Us, and they say they are trying their best through this company, this organization, to be the conduit of ordinary, everyday people to what's happening in our politics. And this is federally and locally, or is it just federally?
It's tied to federal issues, but we
All right.
connect it to what's happening locally. So some of
Okay.
the big things that we've been focusing on, especially in the last year, are the cuts to SNAP, cuts to
Right.
Medicaid,
Mhm.
rising health insurance premiums, all of these issues that the lower your income is, the more it's going to affect you, the harder it's going to be. And so we work to, and speaking of, meeting people where they are, we also work with people who are directly affected by these
Right.
issues. So
Yeah.
people who, and it's scary to talk about something you might be struggling with. And so we really applaud the people who come forward and share their stories about whether it's we're not sure how we're going to be able to keep the lights on for the rest of the month or put food on the table, get the bills paid, whatever it might be. And so we really work to find a way to make federal local. It all kind of comes down to the local level, but sometimes it's hard from a conceptual level to kind of see that process and how it gets here. The issues we're really focused on were passed in legislation a year ago, and they're still filtering their way into the economy. People are starting to see costs go up or certain programs get cut, and wondering how that all happened and how we got here. And so that's a big part of what we do, and working with people who are willing to share their experiences really helps bring that point home a lot better than just the two of us can, from the policy standpoint.
Collin's here, Angie's here. Nebraska For Us. So let's do, because when I talk to people, especially when it comes to their business, I want them to talk to me like I'm 5 years old, right? I'm serious.
Sure.
Because there's somebody who's listening to me talk
Mhm.
like they're 5 years old. And to me, real-time examples is the best way to really break it down, right? Because though you guys have said a lot, I get it, but I'm still like disconnected from Collin and Angie to me in my house, right? Like, help me, like, give me a real time example that you have experience of what your organization does to the people, Angie.
So I get up and I read 2 to 3 hours of news every single day.
Okay.
And I do that so that you
2
don't.
or 3 hours?
It takes me about 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. Sometimes I'm up early. Like Collin knows, I'll be messaging him like at 3:30 a.m. sometimes, but like I'm up at like 5, right? Like 5:30, and I start reading and I start digesting, and it's because you don't need to. I'm gonna go ahead, get up. I'm gonna do that reading. I'm gonna like filter through. I'm gonna let it marinate. I'm gonna be like, what's most important today? What is people need to be focused on today? Because I know that you got like 30 seconds, a minute, 90 seconds to plug in and be like, okay, what do I need to be caring about? How does this affect my family? And if we can provide that somehow, then I want to make sure that you can stay focused on your life, what's happening in your family, and make sure that you're taking care of yours, so that but you also need to know how all of this affects us, because everything that happens on the federal level incredibly affects us here. I know it's a long ways away, and you can tone it out. And I know that there's just a lot of news. There's just a lot of stuff that's happening. It's heavy.
There's real news, and then there's opinions. Right? To me, I want facts. I want receipts. I want sources. Things. So we're gonna stay on this, but this is how I want to go back to the SNAP benefits with you, Collin.
Sure.
All right. So the last thing I seen running across headlines is X amount of people this month, right? Something happened where SNAP benefits got cut. True or false?
Yes, there are different specific examples of different groups that might be affected. We're seeing different paperwork changes take effect just since the law was passed last year that cut SNAP. I think it's something like 12% of a reduction just in Nebraska alone, and there are states across the country with even larger reductions. I think it's like half of the people in Arizona who are utilizing the program kicked off, and now it's putting all these demands on nonprofits and other organizations that were already struggling to tread water as it was, because groceries are so expensive, people are losing jobs, all these other costs are going up, and now we have this too.
So here's the interesting thing about the SNAP is, now I'm a straight shooter out here. Okay? The media has always painted welfare and SNAP as just black people. We're the only ones that's on it, and then you'll have other people who run with that narrative.
Sure.
Mhm.
And then they run outside and say, we're affording your lifestyle. You don't have to work. You're getting all this welfare, blah, blah, blah. And then when they cut it, remember they cut it for a second and brought it back, that moment. And then they saw a lot of Caucasian people online crying. Like, yo, what are y'all doing? And then they learn, like, wait a minute, there's more than just black and brown people that are on this. And then when they started putting out the data, they realized there's more white people that are using these welfare social programs than they are black people. Not that that's a difference, but I want people, well, it's a difference, but I want people to understand that when organizations like you come in, it always sounds like to other people you're only trying to help black and brown people, not that black and brown people don't need it, and then they will not listen to you because it sounds like, oh, they're not talking about me. Well, you are talking about you. Just like if you voted for any of these weird laws and bills, it was about you. But a lot of people went and voted in this way through emotions, feelings, some was politics, like, you want to try something different. I get that, you know what I'm saying? No matter who was there, they probably would, try something different. But they didn't believe what was being told to them. In the fact that it was going to affect them. So I say all that to say is, how is it that you still have the compassion for those who look at you and say, this ain't for me, but I am trying to help you?
It's pushback we've heard before. And it's healthy to have that skepticism, especially, when we were newer. We've been around about 3 years now, so still relatively new. But we're really looking at the totality of all communities. And like you mentioned, the way that, and I can kind of speak from the perspective of being a reporter in the past, that sometimes there are tight timelines, tight deadlines, and it's hard to get stories done and get the totality of the voices that you need to hear from. And then that can almost translate into those stereotyping conversations that you just mentioned a bit earlier. And then when you have something as widespread as, and I think it was during the government shutdown back in the fall, where states essentially said, well, we can't fund SNAP, or maybe it was the federal government. And that got a lot of people talking because it affected them. And that opens a lot of people's eyes to those issues. And I think that kind of lends itself back to what we're doing and always talking about these issues, because a lot of times people feel alone. They feel isolated. They feel ashamed. There's a lot of shame that a lot of people feel, and we've all felt it in one way or another.
I think most of us are really kind of illiterate when it comes to these, bills, policies, politicians. Rocky's in the chat. Rocky Man, what's happening? He said, what service do they provide exactly? You can reiterate. Don't let me try to talk for you. I know we went through that, but go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. So, Angie, I'd love to turn it over to you to kind of talk about, I can kind of talk about the way we communicate with people, whether it's through interviews like this or on our social media channels. There are a lot of different ways we do that, but we also have a lot of events that we hold as well.
Yeah, so we're not a direct service provider, so we help lift up what other people are doing, but we also do that in a way where we'll hold events, we'll do diaper drives, we'll do food drives, we'll do different types of drives to illustrate what's been cut and where the needs are within our community. So
I know what y'all are. Y'all are information providers.
Correct. We're information education.
Got you.
So we just did a diaper drive that benefited North Omaha Community Partnership, and so just trying to lift up what they are doing over there and the good work that they are doing, and making sure that people truly understand the need within our community. But we also work with a lot of pantries too, because they're the front lines of when you start cutting SNAP, when you start cutting food availability and affordability for a lot of people. The pantries is what is taking over the lifting up and trying to fill that void of these cuts that are happening. And so talking to them, making sure that they are getting on air, making sure that they are getting the press that they deserve, because the work that they are doing is instrumental within our communities. Because here's the thing, when people don't have food, when there is hunger in a home, like, you get desperate. You get desperate. Like,
don't sugarcoat it.
I know.
What happens?
I know.
What happens?
Well, there's a domino effect, right? We all have to eat, right? So, like, if you can't feed your kids, you make decisions, you make choices, right? And but there's choices that are happening. So are they not making rent? Are they not making a house payment? Are they not getting their car fixed? Or can they not get to work now because their car doesn't work? Can they, what happens, I can get into the super nitty gritty of a lot of this.
Right.
But here's the thing. I grew up in a home where I was not safe. I grew up in a home where there was not food sometimes. I grew up in a home where my mom was sneaking me some saltine crackers because my dad would take food away from us. So I know what it's like to go hungry. I know that feeling as a kid. I know what it's like. And so I can talk honestly with people and so that they know that I see them and I know that you are gonna make decisions that you may regret in the future because you wanted to feed your kid.
Right.
Because you needed to eat.
Right.
So every time we have an event, there's food.
Right. Yeah.
Last Sunday we had an event where we had food on site. You could take some of those leftovers home with you, but we provided a box meal for you to take home for later. And so my biggest thing is like, if you want to solve so many of the issues that people want to complain about in our communities, then fix hunger.
Right.
You don't like homelessness, fix hunger. If you don't like crime, fix hunger. Provide food. And so we can get into the nitty gritty about this bill that cuts SNAP, cuts Medicaid. It's a budget bill. So when they cut money from, or when they decided to provide tax breaks to billionaires, they had to pay with it somehow. And it's all of us. It's the low and middle income Nebraskans that are paying for those tax breaks for billionaires.
You know what's crazy about that? They said it out loud. They literally was on Capitol Hill saying, "So how are you gonna pay for this? All these programs over here that benefit the people who are struggling, yeah, I'm just gonna take that." And the one that kills me is Medicaid, because that's not something that's provided by our treasury. People pay into Medicaid, so you're cutting something from people that they pay into, so they have the right to use. We have Collin here, Angie here, Nebraska For Us. Welcome to the inside of this thing. So now, I have one question. I always throw something in there because my brain just keeps going. I love people who put themselves in positions to help others, but they also put themselves in vulnerable positions to help others, right? And we live in these United States where white people are looked at a lot as being privileged. The white privilege, elite, y'all don't have struggles, none of that stuff, really affects white people. And just by your story, that's not true. White people where I grew up around, in North Omaha, it's not always true. Now, you don't have to answer this question because it's just me being. We had the video call. I told y'all I'm gonna be me.
Sure.
Right? Do you ever get frustrated at you being attacked just for being white and who you are, and they're not hearing your message, they're not hearing you're there to help, to where you say, you know what, if you think I'm this white elite person that doesn't care, I'm just gonna be that. And then you just drop it. Have you ever had those thoughts of leaving it alone and going about your business? Because it can be easy and safe for white people. Like there's a whole little world over there where y'all ain't gotta touch none of this. Does that ever come into your mind? Do you ever think, like, man, I'm tired of this because they don't care? I'm
conscious of this all the time.
Yeah.
I've been working on policy in the state of Nebraska for over 10 years, and I started with survivorship stuff. So I'm still the survivor policy advocate for the Nebraska Coalition to End Sexual and Domestic Violence here in the state. So I work with survivors every single day. I help them tell their stories in a way that's impactful so that they feel empowered. I remove the barriers and the roadblocks that they have in order to get to Lincoln, to sit in a hearing room, to be able to tell their story. I run into people all the time that suffer from white savior syndrome. So it is something that is front of mind all of the time. And that's why we are very intentional. Like, we are not here to tell anybody how to do anything.
Right.
We are not here to take over anything. We're not here to all we are here to do is acknowledge our privilege, but also how can we help?
Right.
Like, we want to partner with you, and we have some resources. And so we're going to use those resources for good. Okay. We're not going to use it for things that do not. We are not going to be using our resources for stuff that does not provide direct impact to the people most in need within our community.
Yeah.
And we had some of that healthy skepticism, as I kind of described it a bit earlier at the beginning, and some pushback that we've gotten. And we've kind of viewed it as the need to prove ourselves more, not to, we're not entitled to anybody's support, anybody's kind feelings, or whatever you want to say. And that we have to put in some of that work to be able to build trust in the community, and we've been working toward that. I think you never want to give up on that. There's always, room for improvement. You can't fully put yourselves in anyone else's shoes. You
Right.
can do your best to understand what they're experiencing, and
Yeah.
that's a big part of why we allow people to be able to share their experiences, because we can't speak to them the way they can.
But does it ever make you want to be like, man, I'm out?
No.
Like, I'm serious.
Sure.
Like, because that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you try to help somebody, help somebody, you're like, look, I'm sick of this. I don't have to be here. I don't have to keep going through this. You know what I'm saying? So you say,
Sure.
Shouts out to you. Shouts out to you too, man. Rocking and rolling. Rocky says, eat the rich. That's what I will turn into. So when that's what it will turn into is, I know you had to keep it a little politically correct over there. I want, but yeah, that's what happens when people go hungry. Always comes to my mind is artist who was dead named Tupac, and he was doing an interview, and I'll make what he said short. They asked him, they're doing an interview about kind of like this whole thing between the have and the have-nots, and then he says, the have-nots will knock. Hey, it's sold. I see y'all in there through the window with a whole bunch of food. Going back to what you're saying, right? A whole bunch of food. I'm hungry. Can you throw us a little bit of something? Boom, this thing is going to face. Because you're not allowed. We ain't gonna give you. Then the knock becomes a bang. Then they open the door. Now you're more aggressive with your tone. Like, hey, we're just asking for some food. Give us a little bit. We'll be cool. Y'all throwing food around in there. We can see it. You're doing it in our face. Slam the door. The next knock ain't a knock.
No.
It's a 4-5, a kick door with a mask on. Just to eat. And the movie that gives you this is an old school movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Wesley Snipes. Oh, what was the name of that freaking movie? I can't think of it. Oh my God.
Someone in the chat, help us.
Yeah.
Right. It was a movie in the future about the future. It was crazy. When Taco Bell was the only one out of the restaurant wars, right?
Yeah.
And it was like Taco Bell was like going to, an elite restaurant in this movie, but underground there were people starving. So they would come up, boom, boom, attack Taco Bell to get food to feed the people underground. You know what I mean? So I wish I can't think of the name of that freaking movie. But anyway, so that's what this whole thing sounds like. But I want to applaud y'all, right, for doing what you're doing. Because your people don't have to do it. Because it's volunteer when I say volunteer, the volunteer part to say to yourself, I'm going to do this. One thing I don't think people should always do is anything for free, right? Even in nonprofits, people need to still feed their families. Gas in their car. You know what I'm saying? Because you look pretty young, Collin, so I don't know if you remember. Demolition Man, thank you, SK the Trigger Man. So that's just Stallone. But like when we're talking about food, you go to two of the biggest restaurants, fast food restaurants right now, Burger King and McDonald's.
Sure.
And a $20 bill will get 8 of them. What we'll get back, like $3-4 and change off of a combo. When the same double cheeseburger combo used to cost $2.99, $3.18 after tax. And this is where we're at, right? And I know y'all know this more than me.
Sure.
Federal is still $7.25 an hour. So on the bigger scheme of things, I sent this over. What can the community do for itself, right? Because I'm not a person about always getting handouts. Always like, if you giving me the information, teach me how to fish. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I'm doing right here. So what can the community do itself to uplift itself, to get the information when y'all not there giving it to them? You know what I'm saying?
I like to, I said this a lot this weekend. So one of the things that I really want and am trying to do is provide enough information and education so that you feel empowered to have the conversations that you might have walked away from before. So
Angie came in dropping it today.
so I remember at Christmas a couple years ago, my stepsister, somebody brought up immigration. My stepsister says, I don't know enough about this to have this conversation. My goal is that you never have to say that. And my goal is to make sure that instead of walking away or changing the subject, lean in and be like, no, let's have this conversation.
Well, that person don't want to learn.
I want to be able to start engaging in these hard conversations that where it's easier to walk away and start having real dialogue within our communities. Because if we continue to just let the status quo happen, we're not going to make any type of progress.
Right.
We have to try to get as educated as we possibly can. But there are resources out there. So if somebody is really facing a hardship today, there are resources out there, and we have been working with some amazing people. We can totally help set up. So if you reach out to us on our socials, we can totally help provide you the resources that you might be needing if you're in crisis today. But if you're not in crisis,
you say crisis, like you're saying food, clothes. I just got kicked out of my house.
Yes.
Drug abuse.
Yes.
Those type of things.
Yes.
Right?
All of it.
You said you dealt with, unfortunately, physical abuse. So okay, so boom, you guys hit y'all and hey, here. Okay, don't.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to feel like there's not people out there that don't care about you. Like I want that to make sure. I want everybody to know to make sure that like if stuff is hard right now, if you feel overwhelmed and you don't know, because just the system is just beating down on you constantly, and you are not finding any type of relief, and you're starting to feel like, why is this happening to me? Just know that there are people just like you that are out there facing the same exact thing. You're not alone, but there are people out there that are willing and wanting to meet you and to help lift you up in this moment, because I never want anybody to feel like they're in a position that they can't come back from.
Right. Angie's here, Collin's here. Collin, what do you want to add on to that?
I did want to add on just to share, we have the events that we talked about in person, and we try to do them at different times and different days. So the barbecue Angie talked about, we had it last Sunday at noon. So we had about 100 people from all over the metro show up, and were able to not only have lunch, but they were able to really get engaged in a conversation about tax policy. We had several speakers. We had State Senator Victor Roundtree. We had a woman from our area who is a single mom, used to qualify for SNAP, now only qualifies for $20 a month or something.
Because you made $1 more past SNAP thing?
Something
$3.
very
$3 more past
$3.
Wow.
Something
She's
small.
a veteran too.
Right.
Veteran. Welcome to these United States.
Right.
Right.
And I share that to say, so we have those events in person, and we're always working to meet people's differing schedules. So we'll do coffee events on weekdays, 10 or 11 a.m. Just kind of depends. We'll have stuff on the weekends. We'll have stuff at night. But we also, Angie and I really started dipping our toes in some more video content. And so we are regularly providing updates on our social media feeds of what's happening in Congress this week. We just put a new video out this morning, so people have an idea of what all needs to pass in like the next 2 weeks.
That is very important. That right there is very important, because the language will make you say no to something that they want you to say. They want you to say, hold on, am I saying this right? They'll put the language for when it benefits you, but you'll say no. Right? It's crazy how they put the language out on some of these bills and stuff. You're sitting there like, I don't want that. But in all actuality, you just voted against your best interest because the way it was worded. So that's great.
Yeah. So we have that. We have our social media channels. We're always writing content.
What are your social media channels?
So at Nebraska For Us. So we're on Facebook, Twitter, X, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram. Started putting those videos on TikTok as well. So we're really trying to get everywhere that we can. We also have a newsletter that goes out. It's maybe once or twice a week. It kind of depends. The busier things are, the more that'll go out directly to your email inbox. And so we have a lot of different ways that we want to make sure that people can get the message about what's happening, what's important, and what's worth knowing.
Right. Shout out to Fubu for Real. Vamos. I don't know what that means. Is that hello in Spanish? I don't speak Spanish. Vamos. Is that what that means? Oh, it does mean hello. Oh, okay. Angie, you gotta like say yeah. Like, you make me feel like I don't know what's going on out here. So with that, I also want to shout out Jasmine. For definitely being a part of hooking up the interview. This is Collin and Angie, Nebraska for Us. So I know you guys got more information. So here's what I'm gonna say. Remember, we had a video call, right? Now I actually have one even before that. One thing is, I didn't even know y'all existed, right? So y'all gonna have to do a lot of work to get the word out that y'all even exist and have this information and have these resources that people can come to. Because that's one thing, like, for example, people look for insurance. They don't even, a lot of times, they don't even know they're just going to someone who's providing them information to get the insurance company. They don't sell insurance at all. They're just giving you information to get to the insurance company. And that sounds like you guys do that exact same thing, but it benefits people from all different kinds of ways. And do y'all have information to the unions that help people get jobs and all that stuff, so they can call in to y'all and say, hey, come over here to get a trade, or come over here to, if they have this type of accreditation, like, can they call in for educational type things, or work trade type things?
Yeah, we can provide all the connections, because we work with and we partner up with so many different organizations across the state. So if we can't help you, we definitely know who can.
Right. Yeah.
So
So I mean, I feel, what's happening? Because I feel like there's a lot in Omaha, and what I really want to say, I shouldn't say because people get mad at me because of how I say it, but I don't care.
It's your show.
In Omaha, I don't like it is, but that doesn't mean I can just gonna say
sure.
That I want, but I'm still gonna say it.
Yeah.
This is just my opinion. This is not an opinion of Angie. This is not an opinion of Collin. This is not even an opinion of 8790 Coach. It is me. It's my opinion. In Omaha, if you got your wits about you, there's no reason why you can't get to it. Right? It may take a minute. Right? You can get knocked down, but in Omaha, there's so many resources that'll help you get back on your feet. Right? And now here's a company called Nebraska For Us that's telling us right now, hey, call us. Just about anything you're going through, we have the phone number and or email or the contact to get to it, because even those organizations that exist don't do a good job for the community to even know that they exist, right? And because we have Ruane on from Lauritsen, I think that's how you say it, the union that's over there off of, just last week, and he's sitting here blowing my mind away that you can go over here, 18, get trained for free, go to the ocean, and get placed in a high-paying big job within a couple of years.
Yep.
Right? So these are the things that, I'm glad y'all coming on. I'm glad he's coming on, to these different shows. Y'all have to keep doing it. Like, I don't know what y'all marketing budget is, but talking and leaving is going to be gone. So all these media outlets that y'all getting to, y'all got to find a way to keep the message going when y'all not even there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure I'm preaching to the choir saying that, but,
We're always trying to make sure we're getting in the news in terms of making sure that we're able to provide either the voices affected by policies, or we can talk about the specific policies too, with a range of media outlets, from stations like this, from TV stations, print, online, podcasts. It's all everywhere, all at the same time, all at once. Yeah, it's you know what I mean. So
the frequency has to be there, and I'm a person that appreciates organizations like Nebraska For Us because it's needed. So this last little part of the conversation, actually, I'm sorry I held y'all longer than I told y'all.
No problem.
No,
happy to be here.
All right, the last is the information. Like, is it one simple website that they need to get to y'all? What is that?
Yes, all one word, NebraskaForUs.org. That's spelled FOR. NebraskaForUs.org.
And that is it. Go there, figure it out.
Right there.
Figure out what you need from there. So when they go, are y'all like?
We manage the website.
Okay, y'all get, all right, there it is. Angie, you want to add anything else?
I have so many things that I want to say. So when we talk about food, when we talk about SNAP, when we talk about Medicaid, and if there's one person that's cut, it hurts everyone.
Right.
If there's one person that loses services, it hurts everyone. Right. If there's an impact, there's a domino effect. And so we need to make sure that even if we don't use those services, even if we don't need them right now, when those services are cut and when they're cut intentionally to be harmful to our communities, it hurts all of us. So all of us need to be paying attention.
Man, welcome to the inside of this DJ Mista Soull show. I keep telling y'all we're bringing things through this community that normally won't be put on these airways or anybody's airways. And hopefully this is not the last time y'all come back. That's not Hollywood talk. That's real talk because the message has to continue, you know, to get out there. And I see you guys are real passionate about what you do. Angie real passionate because when she really gets to talk, she just looks bad. It's like
just checking out your shoes.
Yeah.
Some nice kicks.
That being said, I appreciate y'all. We'll sign up some more. We'll schedule another time for you guys.
Absolutely.
Come in and also you got my email, right?
Yes.
So add it to the
all of our outreach, everything we're working on,
say,
all of our events, our pitches, our
No. What's the thing you said you send out every 2 weeks?
Oh, our newsletter.
Yep, newsletter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Add it to the newsletter.
We can do
so
that.
then I can, go in there and plug some information out, and still give it to the people. All right?
Absolutely.
All right. Fair?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Hope we see y'all again.
Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. Last words? No more last words? We good?
I think that's it.
We good? So Angie about to beat people up that ain't doing right.
I'm nice, I swear.
All right, y'all keep it locked right here. We come back, man. We got my man DJ. Always call me DJ. But Hollywood's coming back.